Bye, person I didn't have sex with. Hey, Maniacs.
Hey, Mystery Maniac.
We're back from a 2-week break. We hope you all had an awesome Halloween.
And we have lots of announcements.
Oh my gosh, we've watched so much good stuff in the last 2 weeks that we want to recommend to you.
First of all, the people in the UK finally got to see Dressed to Kill, Season 23, Episode 4 of Midsomer Murders. Mm-hmm. They have a whole other season to go still.
It's just not fair.
It's not fair. But what is fair is they have both the mini episode. Now, the episode's been shown.
Right.
But it's available on ITVX.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched it yet, make sure that you watch our mini episode.
Listen to the mini.
Which is Dressed to Kill, Did You Know My Brother Won a Drag Show?
Then watch the new episode for you. And
is
then
153 Electric Undie Eels.
Yes. Then listen to the full episode.
Yep.
We had a lot of fun with that one.
And both of those links will be in the show notes for this week's show.
By the way, if you don't know what you're listening to, this is Mystery Maniacs, a comedy recap podcast where we focus on murder mystery shows. And each week we pick an episode of a show and recap it and point out all of the murder, the mayhem, the loonies, and everything else we love. And I'm Sarah.
And I'm Mark. And this week we're covering Brokenwood Mysteries, Season 2, Episode 3, Catch of the Day, which is a restaurant thing. There are no restaurants in this episode.
That's probably a good thing, considering the catch is a hand.
Yes.
Doesn't sound tasty.
No.
So before we dive in, though, a couple of things that we've been watching lately that if you have access to them, you should definitely check them out.
Yes.
Here in the U.S. on PBS, there's a new show called Marlowe Murder Club. It's based on a series of books, and it stars Samantha Bond, who's
Joe Martin,
been in many Midsomers.
Joe Martin, who was in Doctor Who, Kara Horgan, who was in The Sandman, and Natalie Dew, who was in Sandylands. And what I like is a number of women from different backgrounds.
Yep.
That completely hassle a police sergeant. Yes. She's awesome.
Yes.
She's like, how are they in here? And how do they know so much already?
It's very clever.
It's cozy and clever.
Yeah. It's really fun and fully aware of all of the meddling old lady mystery tropes. And has a lot of fun with them. And
there is mystery to be had.
Yeah.
What's behind that locked door? I want to know what's there.
We have also been watching the new season of Whitstable Pearl on Acorn.
Season 3, I believe.
It's just as good as the prior seasons.
Yep.
They're getting a little bit too much into her personal life and less emphasis on the cases for my taste, but that's just me.
Yep.
It's a little, it's like 5% too much her life for me, but it's okay. And then the third thing that we've watched is a little different. It's called The Passenger, and it's on BritBox.
I would say it's the closest thing that matches Midsomer Murders and Twin Peaks.
Yeah. If you combine those two together, it's cozy, but there's definitely some paranormal stuff.
Some weird stuff going on.
And we finished the first season, and all I have to say is there better be a second season, because otherwise I'm going to go punch somebody at BritBox. Because it does resolve in a satisfying way, but you still want more.
Strong female woman of color in the lead role.
Yeah.
It's good to see. Absolutely fantastic.
And it's just fun. It's like a quirky village, and the characters are good. And
Cheddar.
There's Chattervale is the name of the place. Yeah. And there's just a lot to figure out, and it keeps you going. So, and
I kept being the fun sucker. I'm like, there's 20 minutes left in this episode. It's the last episode, and there's a lot to figure out. And they just introduced a whole new part.
Don't give anything away now.
Okay, it's good right to the last second.
You are, if you haven't watched it yet, you're lucky, because now you can watch all of it. You can just binge it. But we watched it as it was released, and I was so frustrated. How can there not be another episode available yet?
We had to wait a week between episodes.
A week!
I know. It's like we lived in the before time.
I needed to know what was going on. So that's Marla Murder Club on PBS and probably other places, I'm not sure. The Passenger on BritBox and new episodes of the new season of Whitstable Pearl on Acorn. All definitely worth your time to check out.
Now, there has been something we've been waiting for a long time, and it is a production of a series of books centered around a character named Flavia de Luce.
Flavia de Luce.
We love this character. We love these books.
She's a little girl who meddles and solves crimes, and she's great.
And it is not kids lit.
No, she
is
just happens to be a little girl.
serious,
Yeah.
and
Though I think young adult could read it no problem.
Yes.
But it's totally good for adults because the mysteries are really good, and she's great.
In this production that is filming now,
Finally, it's going to come out as a movie or a series or something. The books have been out for a while, and they're all so good.
it's going to be a movie. The first
Okay.
one's a movie. Martin Freeman,
Yeah.
Toby Jones,
Yeah.
and our friend of the show, Annette Batland.
That's just an awesome cast. The only
And Jonathan Pryce.
The only thing I'm unhappy with is the actress they have playing Flavia looks way too old.
Yeah, she looks a bit too old.
She looks like she's in her early 20s and she should be 12.
She should have the worst sisters known to man.
Yeah, Flavia does.
Yeah.
If you've never checked out the books, they're by Alan Bradley. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
I can't believe I remembered that. I just
Yeah.
pulled that right out of my head. They are really fun.
And they're set in the 50s.
Yeah, post-war. Just
Post-war.
after the war.
Yep. There's bicycles.
The audiobooks
Like-
are fantastic. Yeah.
It's Father Brown with a little girl.
Yeah, exactly.
It's set in that time period. and-
Yep, that kind of
except
village.
She's incredibly intelligent
Yeah.
and observant and still immature at the same time. And that series goes off into crazy town.
Yeah, it's really
Which is fun,
Yeah,
so.
really, really fun. So you should check it out.
So we have two questions about this episode that were asked by
About Catch of the Day,
Yes.
the Brokenwood episode.
by Commodore Schmidt-Lap.
Just so you know, we are a spoiler podcast. We are going to ruin it.
Yes.
If you don't know who the murderer is in Catch of the Day, stop right now.
Now, do you want us to discuss these right now or as they show up in the episode?
Tell us what the questions are, and then let's answer them as we go.
The first one is, I'd love to know why Tommy Keeley knew his mother and his sister were talking to Sims. There's a little bit more, but that's the gist of it.
Okay.
And then secondly, I'm curious what you think about whether or not Tommy knows or knew that Des and Liam had found the shipwreck and the treasure and were cutting him out. That's a possibility.
Both very good questions.
They're very good. Commodore Schmidt-Lap. Do you know what that name's from?
No.
By the way, that is an obscure Batman 1966 the movie reference.
Wow.
Commodore Schmidt-Lap is kidnapped by the Joker, the Riddler, the Penguin, and Catwoman, and then replaced by the Penguin,
And pretending to be him.
pretending to be Commodore Schmidt-Lap.
Wow.
That's an obscure reference, man.
That listener is right up your alley, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sending those questions in. We often have unresolved questions about plot lines too, but I think we can answer those too.
And that's the kind of thing that we discuss on the Mystery Maniacs subreddit. This episode aired 11th of October 2015, directed by Mike Smith and written by Greg McGee. I'm going to say this is not written by the normal guy, and boy, he does not get Jared.
Jared in this episode is Joyce Barnaby.
And
He's
kind of...
I'm just around doing things and just happen to like find clues and
kind of colonial, Maori, I'm superstitious kind of thing.
I don't know. He's raised by his aunties who all go to church.
I love the aunties line.
They're great.
Yes.
We get to see more of them later.
Yes.
But of course, he's the one who finds the basket with the hand in it because he's surfing.
Yes.
Because he surfs, he snorkels, He plays soccer. He
Does Tai Chi.
Tai Chi, tends to vineyards, does odd jobs, knows about the black market in Brokenwood.
Slightly criminal.
Like, he's everywhere.
Yeah.
He does all the things.
Well, he doesn't have his big old gumboots on here. He's running out to go surfing and finds a hand in a crayfish pot.
Which is like a crab pot.
Yes, like a crab pot.
Yeah.
Did you know that nowhere in New Zealand is more than 25 miles from the ocean?
That doesn't surprise me.
Isn't that interesting?
Because of the way that it's shaped.
You must almost smell ocean all the time.
All the time, yeah.
Yeah.
I would think that you would have to.
And gulls everywhere. But it's a nice beach. This beach is beautiful.
Brokenwood Beach is very pretty.
I was like, how did they get all the people off of this beach?
Yeah. I think it's because it's cool.
Yeah.
It's not
definitely
not summertime.
It's definitely cool. So
we learn about the Keeley family, who are the only ones who have pots because they own the rights to have pots for crayfish. And they are the stereotypical, not gangster family, but strong-armed, sort of backwoods, rough. I mean, the mom is in charge of the family, and she's like tough as nails.
Pullman calls them seaside Appalachians. I'm like, find Appalachians on the map there, dude.
Yeah. I think that's a nice way of saying rednecks, maybe?
Yeah, it's kind of
backwoods people.
But the brother isn't like that at all.
Liam?
Yeah.
Oh, no, he has aspirations.
Yes. And that's his problem.
Yeah, that's his problem. And apparently the dad, who died 5 years ago when his boat blew up, was the worst of them. Jared is like, he was the devil.
Do you know what Jerry's hobby was?
Jerry. Who's Jerry?
Oh, sorry. Dez's hobby was?
No.
Oh, when we get there, I'll tell you.
Okay. So much so that Jared's like haunted by Dez, the devil. Like the hand was pointing at me.
See,
okay, it can't be his hand. He died in a boat explosion 5 years ago in front of his house.
Again, that's the kind of stuff that I don't like. Like, he doesn't understand Jared. Jared's not like this most of the time.
Yeah.
Jared's slightly like this.
He's not hocus pocus.
But this is hocus pocus.
Then we get this long run of hand puns. And it's almost too much just as they stop doing it.
Yes, I would agree.
Give me a hand. Raise your hand. You handed it in. Like, okay, we get it. And it all ends with Gina's, he was handsome.
Yeah.
See, he had some of his hands. Then you're like, okay, I'll allow that one.
Yes.
But no more. Okay, no more.
I like the hairy joke too. The men's hands are. You said Russian women had big hairy hands.
I never said hairy.
I never said hairy.
Are my hands hairy? Well, as she wears gloves.
Are you assuming I'm Russian?
Then Edward Alderson, the old guy with the dog on the beach, he has been teleported from Midsomer into New Zealand with his dog Macmillan. He even has a Burberry scarf on.
He does. And I love how he puts his glasses on after the car is gone.
Like, I wouldn't have been as surprised if he had said, well, I haven't been around here long. I just moved here from England.
I'm a little scared of this guy. So he can't hear well.
No.
He doesn't see in anything but black and white. And he doesn't have his glasses on. And he's wandering around on the beach.
At least he's not driving.
Like, is the dog going to wander off?
Well, maybe Macmillan is helping him. It's a sheepdog, like an Australian sheepdog.
Yeah, it's a very nice dog.
He almost gets run over and, of course, doesn't catch the license plate. And that just happens. Every mystery series has that scene where some old guy walking with or without dog, with or without walking stick, in his beater jacket, almost gets run over and has to dive into a ditch and doesn't recognize the car.
But Ginger Ranger does a good job here because he's really pushing hard on the "you're annoying me, old man," and then the light bulb comes on, and he's
kind
like,
of patient with
wait a minute, you might know something. When they go to the Keeley's fishing compound,
yeah,
that is some awesome set design. First of all, it's on the ocean.
Yeah.
Right? This is an expensive episode. There's boats and fishing things.
And underwater filming.
And it's a very expensive episode.
I thought their compound looks exactly as I would expect it to.
Well, I totally agree, but
I just don't understand Ma Keeley's hat.
It could have looked less, right?
Yeah, it could have.
They did a great job on it. So Ma Keeley's grumpy, and so the Keeleys are 4 people. They're Ma Keeley.
Only because Des is dead.
Yes.
There's Ma, the daughter Liz, Liam, and Tommy, the sons.
Yes. And the daughter has...
Liza, sorry.
So pretty extensive burns on her.
Because she was there when their dad's boat blew up.
And she also has a horrible brother who points at... Like, he's like, you need some beauty sleep. I'm like, dude.
He's awful.
He's horrific.
I mean, okay, Liam's the killer, but Tommy's just as bad.
And is also the killer.
Throws his mom on the ground.
Yeah.
Threatens people all the time.
The last 15 minutes of this episode, both brothers become psychotic. Extra psychotic.
They display their psychoticness.
Yes.
They already were crazy.
Yeah.
Raised by Des the Devil, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
But the way he acts around Sims when she's on the boat with him, he's trying to intimidate her.
I thought it was worse. I remembered it being worse. I don't know whether I thought it was when we watched it before I was in a bad place or something, but I thought it was worse. But I thought Sims totally handled him.
As a woman, I can tell you it's as bad as it needs to be.
Yeah.
He's awful. Just awful. The boat that Tommy takes out to check his pots is called the Braveheart.
Yes.
I wondered why.
I don't know. It doesn't need to be
Maybe
called.
It's just a boat.
It's
just
a
the boat that they found. I wanted it to mean something. Like it's the opposite.
But Sims is like driving that boat and
she says
getting up early.
She says she's sweet.
Yeah.
I like that. He says, do you want me to drop the anchor or you think you can keep control of the boat? She says, I'm sweet.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we'll see about that. Oh, you're just gross. You're just so gross. Your brother's a killer, but you're gross.
Achromoplastia and deaf as a post.
But then says, well, you don't have to yell. Yes, we do, Mr. Alderson.
He goes to see Wes Pullman, who is the owner of the mussel farm.
Yeah.
And at the same time that Sims is out on the boat, and Tommy, is it Tommy? Actually has a fairly good line here where he says his brother was the apple of the old man's eye, but he should have been but he really was a rotten apple. I'm like, that is a fantastic mixed metaphor right there.
Bring. Hello.
Yes, this is Pot calling for Kettle.
Well, yes, he did kill him.
My brother's the bad one. I mean, I killed our dad, but he's awful. So before Sims goes out on the boat, she and Mike are talking in the car, and he says that she'll go out on the boat, and that he doesn't like boats.
Yes.
Because one of his wives drowned.
Yes.
And we are in Sims' shoes. We're in her shoes. We're in her little shoesies for a second.
Sims' sweet shoesies.
We have merged brains with Sims for a second, going, is that bullshit or not? Are you about to say, I'm just kidding, or not? And he never does. So we're left to believe that one of his wives did drown.
But I love how it doesn't become a thing. She tries to fix it later on. Mm-hmm. And he is still cool with it.
Well, it's Sims. She's not just trying to fix it. She's fishing.
Oh, indeed. She is indeed fishing.
She wants him to give her more information. And Mike never does.
Nope.
In those situations, he never does. And it makes her crazy. And it makes us crazy in her little shoesies.
Yes.
Mike, give it up. What happened to your wife?
But that is a good representation of that moment. You screw up in a conversation.
Well, no, she didn't screw up. I mean, she didn't know anything.
You unintentionally screw up in a conversation. And that you just...
The person who you've screwed up at should let it go because you didn't know, you couldn't mean anything.
Oh, and Mike does.
And he does, but does not provide any additional info, which is annoying. You know what else is annoying? It's a bugaboo for me. It annoys me in this episode.
Okay.
Why didn't they just put 666 on the basket?
I don't understand.
Why do they keep saying 66 is the number of the devil? Okay, no, it's not. It's 666. And you could have put any number on the basket you wanted to.
Yep.
Any number.
And again, it's Jared being like, oh, it's the devil.
Well, but even Tommy says, oh, well, that's, 666 is the number of the devil. And some people say 66 is just as bad. Like, the props people could have just put 666 on it.
Yeah. Maybe they thought 666 was a lot of crab pots.
It doesn't have to be the number of the basket. It's just the ID number.
Yes.
They could all be three digits. Who knows?
Who knows?
Speaking of props, that hand is good.
That hand is fantastic.
It's real
There's
good.
a really good high-res image of it online, and I like a promotional image of the shot of the crab pot with the hand in it in front of the ocean. It's a really nice shot, but I didn't want to put a
nasty disembodied hand.
Just
whoever made it did a great job.
super good
It's
job.
It's clearly
on that
silicone.
hand.
I've worked in silicone. It's difficult. It's got hair punched into it, which if you don't know, like when you make really high-end wigs or prosthetics, you literally punch one hair at a time with if you imagine a sewing needle with the end cut off so that the eye is more of a U instead of a loop, you put the hair through that open loop and you punch that in to the silicone.
It would have taken
it is difficult.
2 to 4 days of full-time work to do that hand.
At least. Yeah, at least.
And that's also the prop dude's hand.
Yeah, you think he took a cast of his own hand?
Yeah.
He had to. Or if it's her husband or giant son,
Yes.
it is a beefy hand to be sure.
Yep. It's not a lady's hand.
No, not even Gina's hands are that big.
So at the mussel farm, they find the body of Officer Bryce.
They find the rest of him.
Yes. And Gina makes her handsome joke.
Yeah.
But the first thing I'm like is, that dude is not handsome.
No, dead or alive.
He's kind of a toad.
I'm sorry, Jason Hood, actor who played him. No, I'm sorry, not Jason Hood. The guy who played Bryce. Oh, isn't even on my list because he's dead the whole episode. Sorry. I'm sorry, actor who played Bryce. Not a 10.
No.
Which is why later when we find out there's this menage a trois supposedly going on, I'm like, okay, Jules is looking really good for her age. Buchanan is a handsome, though sleazy guy. And then there's Bryce the Toad.
Yeah.
Was that really going on? God, I hope they don't show a reenactment of that in a flashback. I do not want to see those three making out.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let's deal with Jules.
My notes say, menage a trois with Bryce? Have you seen him?
Jules is lady on the make.
Is she ever?
Wow. First of all, Dennis. And we'll get to Dennis because Dennis reoccurs.
Yes.
Dennis is pure sleaze.
That's Dennis Buchanan, the lawyer.
And he does a great...
He is sleazy from the moment he steps on screen. Yeah.
He steps on screen. But Jules is like, she doesn't come home. And then Mike steps foot in the house and she's like, I got lots of beds here. You want some wine and some fudge-shaped cookies?
As she's doing that at the funeral, practically.
Yeah.
Like her husband's funeral. She is utterly unsympathetic.
No.
I don't feel bad for her that her husband is dead. I don't think she feels bad. Just shallow and if there really was, I don't think there was, but if there really was a consensual menage a trois going on, that's fine. That's your business. But isn't that enough?
Yeah.
Not for her.
No.
There's another man over there. Let me see if I can hit on him.
And it's cut really badly because, okay, Mike goes over to look at the papers. He asks her some questions. She says, can we have sex now? He says, maybe later. Then she says, are you sure you don't want a glass of wine? And he says, yeah, I'll take a glass of wine.
You have big hands like my husband.
And then they go off to another room in the house. Now, Mike does not have sex with this woman.
No, he's very careful. Like when she calls him over in the middle of the night to his house, to her house, he immediately goes back to the station and has Sims take notes of that visit because he wants another person to know all about it.
But when he's there and he takes the wine, they cut to the next day.
Yeah. And that's
bad.
a
bad cut.
Because it gives you the implication that he stayed and he didn't.
He didn't. It needs to have a
scene of him getting in the car and driving home.
See you later.
Yeah. Bye, person I didn't have sex with.
Well, I think Mike is smart enough to know that he needs to get information from everybody in this investigation, and that her talking maybe involves him sitting with her while she talks.
Yeah. Oh, he can read her.
But he's not like swayed or anything.
While Mike is looking through Bryce's office, he finds the West Pullman file, which is empty.
Yes.
Right? Which is the muscle farmer, which is just weird to say.
He wasn't very good at keeping paperwork. I've seen worse offices on shows.
I see worse offices every day at work. Oh my gosh. Academics have the worst offices.
Yeah.
They smell bad too sometimes. Anyway, he finds a book about treasures
Yes.
in the ocean, and
A list of coordinates in that book.
then we notice the practically life-size anatomy poster about the spinal cord and the nervous system.
Why
That is
does he have a
at
medical...
the desk's line of sight. Like, that's what you would put. That wall is for things you would need to reference often. Like, you could look up and look at it. Like, it should have a map. That's what should be there.
That's what should be
is
there.
a map of the local area.
Yeah,
the
but
ocean.
No, it's a medical diagram of the
Why?
back. I don't know. They
went to effort to put that there.
They do such good set design. They screwed up there.
Why? Is it Bryce's spineless? Is that what they're trying to say?
I don't know.
Is it Jules has no backbone?
I don't know. It's not the best beer poster of the world.
No, it's no Freedom Eagle beer or whatever it was called. I don't understand.
Taste the freedom.
So they find Bryce's boat,
Yes.
and it's got the anchor line cut, so it's been drifting.
Yes.
So it's far away from where it was. And boat technology comes in like a deus ex machina here.
Yep.
But luckily, the computers on the boats can tell us exactly where they've been and when.
Well, Sims
Which is
really,
very handy.
Sims is really good at investigating stuff in this episode. Mm-hmm. She kind of puts a lot of this together.
I like that Tommy is so gross and so bullying, and yet when somebody needs to go talk to him, she's like, I'll go talk to him.
Yeah, she's ready.
She's not, don't make me go talk to him again. She's
Well,
like, I can take him.
It allows Ginger Ranger to talk to the religious nut.
Cleland may be one of the most annoying characters I've ever seen on TV.
He's so annoying.
And he's so minor and yet so annoying.
And okay, he's the annoying version of the mushroom guy from Midsomer.
Yeah.
The mushroom guy from Midsomer is awesome.
Yeah.
But this is annoying. And I gotta say, 3/4 of the way through the episode, like Jared, forgotten about.
Just disappears.
Just disappears.
But not only is Cleland like a religious zealot, but he's a volunteer fisheries officer.
I don't understand.
And he is so puffed up by having any kind of official role. I mean, it's way out of proportion obnoxious for him.
And I don't understand why he's religious. It doesn't add to his character at all or give him any motivation.
It just makes him a righteous bully.
And if he was worried about Bryce being on the take, okay, then there is no reason at all why, just as a fisheries officer, he wouldn't be worried about that.
He wouldn't just report him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have to be God righteous to think that that's a bad thing that Bryce is doing.
It felt very weird.
But man, is he over the top.
Yeah.
And like expects everybody to call him volunteer officer Cleland or whatever.
I think it's a fun that doesn't come through as fun.
Yeah, he comes through as so obnoxious and kind of aggressive.
Yeah.
That he's not quirky, eccentric.
He was in solitary prayer retreat. Breen has no patience. Breen has all the old guys to deal with in this episode.
Poor man. When Jared's hanging out behind the police station trying to look incognito in his sunglasses and hoodie, like, it's so obviously him, but he can't be seen going into the police station, you know.
But he's got the Bible.
It's like I've done a control F on the Bible to look for all the references to hands.
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you what I found.
Well, the other time that Mike talks to him, he says he just got finished his Tai Chi.
Yeah.
I'm like, did you take your gum boots off for that?
Breen says, are you suggesting Bryce was poaching and Des the Devil returned from the dead to kill him? And Jared goes, no, that would be implausible.
It's implausible. That was Jared.
Yes.
That's Jared.
Yeah.
So Sims borrows the car. And then she goes,
It's a stick.
yep. Which makes Mike worried already, right? And then she comes back with the great joke. She goes, oh, it's stuck in first gear.
Does it always get stuck in first? And he's like, did you drive it all the way back in first? Nah. It's like she's driving away with his baby.
Yeah, but Sims totally gives him crap, as she should.
Buchanan, the
Yes.
greasy lawyer,
Yes.
is a recurring character. I think he's the only lawyer in Brokenwood.
He may be the only lawyer.
Wait a minute. He's the only lawyer in Brokenwood who's allowed to speak.
Yes.
Other people have legal representation,
But they never speak.
who just sit there because they're like, court appointed, whatever.
Yeah.
If somebody's got enough money to pay for a lawyer, it's always Buchanan. And his office on the wall, he has the triptych by Hieronymus Bosch of the Garden of Earthly Delights.
Yes.
Which suits him so well. They
Yes.
did well there. Have you ever looked closely at that painting?
That's a weird.
Well, everything
ass
by
painting.
Bosch is
Yeah.
like an acid
Yeah.
trip. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just what he did. But nobody in that thing has clothes on except for a pig dressed like a nun.
Yeah.
It's all naked people, but not doing sexy things. They're just doing weird things.
They're doing weird things. Now,
There's a woman who's looking at the devil's butt, and the devil's butt is so shiny you can see her reflection in his butt.
yes. Now, Dennis and Jules. I can totally imagine that.
Yeah.
Jules and Bryce. I have a
Less
hard
so.
one. Dennis and Bryce.
Not at all.
Not at all.
No, not at all. When you see the photo of Bryce when he was alive,
Yeah.
he's just like a little pudgy toady guy. Like, he's got no glamour about him. He's not going to be out on that Gin Palace flashy boat. Like, it just...
So he
It
has
doesn't work.
he has like 5 different places that he has an office for. So what he is, he's the lawyer for like 15 businesses.
Yeah.
And they all are in the building with him.
Yeah.
Including the mussel farm.
Right.
Now the mussel farm has an admin,
Yeah.
but Dennis doesn't have an admin.
Who's greasier, Buchanan or Pullman, the guy who runs the mussel farm?
I think Pullman feels greasy, but he is only slightly a baddie. He has the guy on the take.
Yeah.
But other than that, he's just trying to run his mussel farm.
He's just a businessman.
And he's trying to deal and wheel and all that stuff, but he's not like the brothers.
No.
So he is sleazy.
He's not
and
evil. He's just-
Dennis is like, Dennis softens, especially like,
They make his character more human.
we don't get into the sexual history of Dennis in other episodes.
Yeah.
So it's just this episode. We find out that Ma and Liza are really being abused by Tommy, right? And the reason why he's abusive and controlling is he's a jerk and he has killed
Des.
right?
But Ma doesn't know that.
Because-
Ma seems to be in the dark about how her husband died.
And the thing is, the sister absolutely knows because she took the call.
She took the call. Yeah.
And walked into the room where Des was doing his hobby and said,
Tommy called and
Tommy
said
called
somebody's poaching.
yeah,
What is Des doing?
he's got a red pen. He's doing the crossword in the newspaper.
Oh, with a pen.
Yep.
They should have swapped the actors that played Des and Bryce.
Okay.
Because Des is a much more polished looking guy.
Yeah.
And Bryce looks more like a crusty fisherman.
Yeah.
They should have swapped. The casting should have been flipped.
So she was burnt at the explosion.
Liza got burned. Yeah.
Yeah. So he gets in the boat, turns the key, explosion. And they're like, it was an accident. I'm like, do you know what accidents are?
It's a broken fuel line.
That's not an accident.
No.
That's an explosion.
Yeah. Yeah.
He blew up real good. And Ma saved her.
Yeah. Because Liza fell in the water.
And Liza has excellent makeup on.
Oh my God. Those prosthetics are really good.
They're very good burn prosthetics on her.
And
like, I love that they're almost not noticeable at first.
yeah, it's half her face and her neck.
Yeah.
And she has full movement and everything in them. And
Yeah.
they look so painful.
They're super good. So then we discover that there's treasure in this episode.
Mike goes on Buchanan's boat. He's got a warrant.
Well, before he goes on the boat, and I'm not sure it's Buchanan's boat. We'll get to that.
It is Buchanan's boat. When they first go to the dock and Jules is saying, I need to show you where I've been. And I've been on this boat. And Buchanan says, it's my boat.
It's his bang boat.
His gin palace. His sex yacht.
Okay. It's interesting that you bring that up because
The sex yacht?
if it is a sex yacht where threesomes happen, I don't know why I became a little Scottish man.
They're threesomes, not treesomes, but yeah.
The bunk situation in that boat does not make it probable.
I can only assume that there is a master suite somewhere else in the boat.
I can only hope because it's like
The V-shaped bunk beds where he finds the bag of gold
and bangs his head.
are not conducive to sexy time.
Yeah.
That's where you stick the kids. They sleep on those shelves. That boat's got to have a nice master suite. It's got to.
Okay. There are literally thousands of dollars, perhaps millions of dollars of gold on this boat.
Yeah, it's a big bag of gold.
It is a big bag of gold, and it is implied that there are lots of other big bags to be taking
Yeah.
from this boat.
Well, they say how many gold bars they think were on the ship.
590 gold bars.
Yeah, and there's only like a dozen in that bag, and
Yeah.
some doubloons for some reason.
some
random doubloons.
Oh, I don't usually do this, but we need to go to Greenland for a little tiny two things.
If you don't remember, Greenland is the place we go where Mark talks about how things are filmed in technical ways that sometimes go over everybody's head. But go ahead. Yes.
So the audio of the doubloons and the gold bars is tinky. I don't like it. It's a bit like...
It should be more thunky because they're heavy.
It's a little more thunky. And then...
But Mike does a good job acting when he pretends the bag is really heavy.
Yes, he does.
And heaves it out of its position and into his lap.
He's up for a BAFTA for
and
that.
you think he's just broken his thigh bones.
Yes. Well, that's what happens when you have a threesome in that little space.
You break your legs.
You break your little thigh bone. The audio at the beginning when they are at the beach is rough.
Wow, it's got to be hard to do sound on the beach.
Right. The waves are not, like, I don't know if they're too loud or not loud enough, but everyone else is speaking absolutely clearly.
Yeah.
And it is tough to do audio there, but it's all ADR'd.
Which means that they re-recorded the dialogue afterwards, like in a studio, and dubbed it in.
Yeah, that's it. Like that. So you get the script as a technician on a production, and you highlight all the parts, right, that are relevant to you. Like in the audio guy, he would have done all the sound effects, and that includes footsteps and the coffee maker and the car engine starting and the car being put in park. It's so many more things than you realize are audio that are not actually presented when they're filming.
Right.
Okay. When he or she saw that first scene, they must have went, oh, crap.
Anybody who works in film in New Zealand is used to working on the beach, I'm sure.
I suppose. Yeah.
That doesn't mean that they have a lot of experience in it, but it's got to be common. You said you're never more than 25 miles away from the beach.
Yeah, that's true. The book that Mike finds leads me to the two most difficult, the one most difficult thing in the episode.
Before we get to that, have we
We haven't got to either
We
one.
haven't got to the two questions.
No.
Okay, we haven't got to the point in the episode
We're
where we
gonna
can
do
answer the
those
two
next.
questions. Okay, I don't want to forget them.
Okay. So the book says the Orion had 590 gold bars in it of World War II gold that was sunk by Nazis or Japanese. We've been watching a lot of Tony Robinson walks around the world episodes lately. And Australia and New Zealand were far more involved in World War II than I realized. Anyway, in this book, there is
A photograph of the wreck.
underwater.
Yeah.
Okay, Bob, we're going to go photograph that boat for our book on treasure. Okay, John. Okay, get our gear on. We take.
You know why we're photographing that boat? Because it was sunk during the World Wars, and supposedly it had a bunch of gold on it. That's why we're going to go photograph it.
So we'll take the picture.
Yeah.
And then we'll swim back to the boat.
We'll just swim away
Yeah.
without checking to see if the gold's still there.
Yeah.
Maybe the guys who took the photo did get like 400 bars of gold, and what they're going after is just what is left.
I know we took 400, but let's leave 190 for the next guy.
And let's put the coordinates. No, we won't put the coordinates of the wreck in the book.
Like they know exactly where the boat is. It's in a picture in the book.
Somebody does who took that photo, but Bryce has a bunch of different coordinates that he's checking and crossing off a list to try to hone in on it. All they really had to do was go find the person who wrote the book
Exactly.
and bring them forcefully back to Brokenwood and say, show me.
Yes. Exactly.
Or did you already get it all? And does Des have a copy of this book too?
I guess. Maybe. Okay. So
Maybe?
the first question is how does
The Commodore's first question.
how does Tommy know about that Ma and Liza talked to them?
Right. Have been talking to the police.
So what happens is Sims and Ginger Ranger go and confront Tommy. Mm-hmm. And he immediately freaks out. He says, who you been talking to? And Sims says, don't let on that we've been talking to Ma and the sister.
Right.
And Breen, I don't think Breen does anything wrong.
He doesn't mean to give it away.
He doesn't mean to give it away, but Breen gives it away.
Yeah. And how does he give it away?
Well, he hesitates and says that somebody else told him.
Yeah. And Tommy must know that his sister knows
He has to know.
because he talked to her on the phone.
Yeah. So
So let's recap this, right? What happened 5 years ago is that Tommy decided that his dad was in his way.
the old man had to go.
So he creates a fuel leak on his dad's boat.
Yes.
He knows his dad.
And by fuel leak, you mean bomb.
Yeah. He knows his dad is completely intolerant of poaching, of
Yep.
anybody touching their baskets.
Yes.
So he calls from the phone box at the bar, gets Liza on the phone and says, tell Dad I saw somebody messing with our pots.
Yep.
Knowing his dad would immediately get on his boat, race out there to confront whoever's doing it.
Yes.
Just like he did with Jared,
Yes.
because he thought he was poaching, even though he wasn't. But Tommy has already rigged the boat to explode.
Yeah.
So Tommy knows his sister knows.
Yeah.
So as soon as he knows the police know, he thinks Liza must have told them.
Must have told them.
But I don't think Ma knows.
I don't think Mom
She's
knows.
not let herself put it together.
No, I don't think so. But she knows it's murder.
But surely Liza would have said sometime in the last 5 years, it was Tommy who called and said that somebody was poaching.
Well, and also, you would have thought that Tommy's so deranged, he would have killed Liza by now.
I think he enjoys controlling her
Yeah.
instead.
I think so.
And I think Ma deep down knows she's just not letting herself put it together.
So that's story A.
Yes.
Right? So Liam goes nuts. Not Liam, sorry.
Tommy.
Tommy goes nuts. Breen confronts him with the gun. And then Sims comes in behind him.
And this is after Tommy has hit both his mother and his sister.
Fun-
Knocked his mother down.
It gets
busted
dark
her face.
really bad here.
He's going to kill them.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't, they think that he will.
So they get him in the triangle and then he gives up.
Yeah. And they enjoy cuffing him,
Yes.
as they should.
They do. Separately,
So now we've got Dez's killer.
yes.
Murder number 1 solved.
Yes.
Murder number 2, Bryce's.
Separately, Jared lets Mike know that Liam was on the boat with Dez. So he knows that Liam's
When they confronted him about
a bit crazy.
poaching, that it's Liam who's holding
The
spear
spear
gun and looks fully willing to use it.
So then Liam is like, it's time for me to go crazy.
You'll never catch me, coppers.
So he gets in the boat. And Mike and Sims get in the boat. And they chase him out to the wreck.
The dude who drives the police boat is awesome at boat driving.
Yes.
He does that, like, skid up to the dock.
Yep.
Backs it right up. They hop right on. Off they go.
Put on their little jackets that the insurance company says all actors have to wear when they're on a boat.
As you should. Life jacket. The nice little ones that just go around your neck now.
Yeah.
That, like, puff out and
Yeah.
when you need them, and you don't have to wear, like, a yellow puffy foam vest thing
I
anymore.
remember the red pillow one.
Yeah. You couldn't put your arms down to your side.
I water ski with those on.
Yeah. They're like a snowsuit just for your upper
I
torso.
don't know how I water skied with some of those on, man.
But they're like boat action time.
Oh yeah. It's a boat chase.
Yep. Total boat chase.
And
Where does Liam go? To the wreck because, well, I'm on the run from the police.
so I'm gonna grab some gold and get out of this town, coppers.
And they'll never think to look for me there
Yep.
at the wreck.
At first I was like, is Liam gonna look up and not notice there's two boats? And then it's like the editor goes, oh, okay, we need to show the two boats so that Liam comes up.
So he puts the gold back down and picks up his spear gun,
And they,
which is like 6 feet long.
at first I was like, why were they letting him do that? And then I'm like, oh, because they have the keys to his boat.
Yeah. It's like, because I'm just going to drive away from here. No, you're not.
No.
He's serious, though.
Yeah.
Like, the guy driving the boat really should have been afraid because he's not a recurring character.
No.
He could have got shot.
He could have got
with
shot.
that spear.
And then he goes, I guess I'm caught. And everybody goes, bye.
At the end.
What?
So let's back up a little bit and talk about how Jules and Buchanan are involved.
Yes.
Okay? Because they know about the gold too, and Bryce was getting it.
Yeah.
And this is why I think that there was no menage a trois in reality. First of all, because have you seen Bryce? Second of all,
Not that ugly people can't have menage a trois.
they can.
They can.
They can. Maybe not Bryce. I'm so mean. I'm sorry.
At least Cleveland wasn't involved.
No! Gosh. If temporary
The power
fisheries
of Christ
officer
compels you.
Cleland was involved. So they were on the big boat.
Yes.
The Gin Palace. And
bang boat.
The sex yacht. And Bryce is supposed to be getting the gold from the wreck and bringing it
to them.
Now, he doesn't even trust them to tell them where the wreck is.
Yes. And
This is why I think there was no menage a trois going on.
I think that's just a convenient story that they came up with while they were waiting for him.
Yeah, to cover that she and Buchanan are having an affair. To say, oh, well, but we don't have a motive because Bryce knew about it and he was fine. Right? Yeah, that's real likely. Have you seen him? Anyway, he's getting the gold and they're supposed to rendezvous, right? But he doesn't show up and they think, oh, he's just taken off with it, which is why they don't report him missing.
Yep.
Because they think he's just taken off with the gold that they can't admit they were going to get anyway.
No.
So they just spend a couple of days on the boat doing whatever on those tiny beds.
Yep.
And then show up and he's dead. And they're like, oh.
But there's gold on that boat, so he came back once at least.
I guess. And they thought, let's hide it under the bunk beds. They're really uncomfortable already.
And never move it? What? Like, if you have ill-gotten booty, and there was a lot of ill-gotten booty on that boat, if you're on the ill-gotten booty boat, are you not taking that booty and putting it somewhere safe?
If I was Buchanan, yeah, I would have snuck that ill-gotten booty off my ill-gotten booty boat and hid it somewhere better. Hide the booty better, Buchanan. But I can also understand, let's not move it because somebody might see us. Let's not draw attention to ourselves.
I can understand
We'll just leave it right where it is and just be done with it. Cross our fingers.
Plus, Jules is like, there's an off chance that I could have sex with every man in town.
Yeah. Who cares about gold?
So in Schmidt-Lab's question...
But you know what? She doesn't strike me as a seductress. She strikes me as someone who is so empty that she only defines herself by whether people find her attractive.
Absolutely.
That's it. That's all she's got.
In Schmidt-Lab's question, he says that Des and Liam know about the treasure. How do they know about the treasure?
They know because the treasure is within the area where they have their pots, and they catch Bryce out there and they think he's poaching, but he's not.
Right.
He's pulling up gold, and they're like, well, we'll have that. Thank you.
And in 5 years, Liam couldn't have taken all the gold?
Maybe they thought they had a deal.
Okay. If you find
I don't know.
If you find a boat.
Why didn't the guy who took the picture have the gold?
Hundreds of gold bars in it. And you're not taking a picture of it, because if you take a picture of it, you have to leave.
Yeah. You can't have picture or gold, one or the other. You can't
Why
have both.
would you not take all of them?
I don't know.
It's troubling.
Maybe when they catch Bryce, he's so far away from the wreck that they can't find it.
But remember, this is 5 years ago because it's Des.
I don't know anymore. I'm sorry.
So we explained question 1 for Commodore Schmidt-Lab, and Commodore Schmidt-Lab's question number 2 is...
Des has the book?
I guess. Maybe there's a crossword puzzle in the book that he did.
And it's distracted him from the treasure? I don't know. Maybe there's an evil ghost of a sailor on the boat.
Oh, okay.
And when you go there...
Captain Ill-Gotten Booty.
Captain Ill-Gotten Booty, Sunken Booty, says... You may have a photo, or you may have 3 gold bars, and that is all.
And some doubloons.
And doubloons. And you get a photo, then you have to leave. And if you take the gold, you can only have a little bit.
And if you have a sex boat, you cannot come here.
Yes, you're not allowed. And them's the rules. And you cannot carry gold and a spear gun at the same time.
What we haven't talked about is the single best moment of the episode yet. Sims offers coffee to Mike and Ginger Ranger.
Yes.
And they go, no, it's okay.
No, thank you.
And she goes, well, I've already made it. And she brings them coffees. And Breen...
She turns her back.
...is brilliant because she turns her back and Breen automatically goes, not it.
Yeah, he makes the not it hand sign, meaning Mike has to drink it. Breen is very funny in this episode. His interactions with the old guy with the dog are great. The way he handles Cleland is great.
This is the Breen that we're expecting. And when the first episode is like, where's Breen?
Sims teases him about his muscles not being big enough. And Mike says, we'll get you a counselor. Because he's like, that's workplace, harassment or whatever.
The 3 of them are great.
They're getting into their groove for sure.
And this is 2nd season. So they are aware that they are probably going to do 6 seasons here. Because remember, they get money to do 6 seasons.
Yeah.
So they're thinking, we're probably going to get 6 seasons. I got a home for 4 more seasons of this.
Yeah.
I like these people.
Yeah.
This is a good gig.
Yeah. And now they're trying to decide who the recurring secondary characters are going to be.
Yes.
They've got Jared.
Yeah.
Are they going to bring back Mrs. M? How big is Frodo going to be? Buchanan. They're starting
Considering how big Frodo is later in the show.
Jared disappears.
The fact that Frodo isn't in these episodes is crazy.
Yeah, that he's only in the 1 and then he just goes away.
Yeah.
And then they give him a contract for the next season, I guess.
I guess so. Maybe he was busy doing something. So.
Yeah, maybe he was Lord of the Rings in it or something. I don't know. Who knows? So that is Catch of the Day.
Yes. So we have one more episode of season 2, which is Blood Pink. Mm-hmm. which is country music, guitar in the bathtub episode.
Oh, speaking of country music, there's a song in this episode. I knew it was coming. You guys don't know about this about me, but my brain has a fondness for earworm songs that is maniacal.
Yes.
And it's a good country music soundtrack.
And they don't have to be, like, Sarah doesn't have to hear this song.
No.
She'll wake up and have a song that she hasn't heard in 15 years.
Because the day before somebody said 2 words that are part of the lyrics, and my brain works on it overnight, and that's stuck in my head. There's a song in this episode that is a recurring song they play in other episodes, and I was dreading hearing it. And it's this Far Away song. It's far away, I'm far away. Yeah, want to stay that way. They only play it once.
Yep.
It'll get in your head. And just know that from now on, they play it like once an episode at some point.
I'm like,
and
that's
it's
a
evil.
good song.
It's evil. I'll wake up in the middle of the night going, far away.
I literally had the thought, which is the thought I always have, which is the music that I attempt to make, I always become perfectionist and overly emotionally about it. And I wish I could write a lyric that is, it's far away, it's far, far away. Like, I would write that lyric 15 different ways that's not simple or melodic.
They do a great job with the music in this show. It is clearly made for the show. It's not licensed music. It's music that's produced for the show, but none of it sounds that way.
Yep.
In Midsomer, the music they play always sounds like it's music made for the show, and it's horrible.
Yep.
Like the music in any convertible car that anybody's driving is like, this is cool music we're playing. Like, no, it's not. It's really lame.
Sims has been checking up on country music, too. She knew some facts.
She did. And if you actually want to know why Johnny Cash wore black, because Mike teases it but never answers the question, you kind of think he'll come back to it later, and he doesn't. He wore black for a few reasons. Based on interviews, people asked him, he answered different ways, different times. Initially, it was for luck. Yeah. Because he wore all black in his first successful gig. And he just said, I'm going to stay with it. Yeah. Then later in his career, he said he wore black to represent people who were poor and oppressed and imprisoned, as just a symbol.
And his name is Johnny Cash.
Yeah, he was born
John Cash.
John Cash. I wear black every day, but it's just because I'm lazy and I don't like picking out clothes, and I know if it's black, it matches.
I occasionally wear blue.
Oh, you're crazy.
Stepping out.
You so crazy. All right. That is Catch the Day. Next week, we have Blood Pink.
Blood Pink, which will be released on the 18th of November, and I will speak about my Kickstarter then because it starts the 19th of November. I don't want to bore you about it, but I'll talk to you about it then.
In the meantime, if you check out Marlowe Murder Club or The Passenger or Whitstable Pearl and you've got opinions, let us know what you think. Send us an email, drop us a line on the subreddit, share your opinions with everybody else. We'd love to know what you think. And if you have other recommendations for things that you're watching or reading or listening to, share. Let us know. All right. That's it for this week. Bye, Maniacs.
Bye, Maniacs. Thanks for joining us on the Mystery Maniacs podcast. If you enjoyed our crazy podcast today, don't miss out on future episodes. Follow us on social media for updates, behind the scenes content, and exclusive sneak peeks. Subscribe, like, and share to spread the word. Bye, Maniacs. 6 hours and 38 minutes on the card. I don't think we'll talk that long.
I don't think so either. 5,